It is a plan for the EU to achieve a climate-neutral building stock by 2050. Why buildings? Well, buildings are responsible for 36%, more than a third of Europe's greenhouse gas emissions. And there is no question that we have to tackle buildings to make a real change. Categorically, the EU will not achieve its climate targets without this directive. It's also a flexible plan. Every country develops its own renovation plan that is specific to their needs. Historical and religious buildings are exempt. The proposed deal will save almost 50 billion cubic metres of fossil gas per year. That's the gas consumption of 35 million households. Another crucial blow to Europe's dependence on Putin's gas. Let's vote for cheaper bills, warmer homes and climate protection. It's a good deal for the citizens of Europe. It's a good deal for the construction industry and creating jobs, and it's a good deal for the planet.
The review on the Energy Performance of Buildings Directive plays a key role in our strategy for a cost-effective transition to net zero. Higher energy-performing buildings are better places to live, have lower energy costs, and generate benefits for our society as a whole. So I welcome the report and the ambition this Parliament shows.
Политиката по реновиране на сградния ни фонд постига изключително много цели едновременно. На първо място тя е от огромна социална полза, като намалява сметките както на предприятията, така и на семействата, на гражданите. На второ място тя има безспорен положителен ефект върху околната среда и то значителен положителен ефект. На трето място, но съвсем не последно по значение, има огромен геополитически ефект, като подпомага енергийната независимост на Европейския съюз и подпомага усилията ни за икономическо изолиране на агресивната руска империя.
We go to the vote on the report by Mr. Cuffe on energy performance of buildings. Amendment 66, who's in favor? Who's against? Who abstains? We need to check this. I open the vote. We vote on the Commission proposal by roll call. The vote is open. Vote is closed. And it is adopted. I give the floor to Mr. Ciarán CUFFE, the Rapporteur.
I would like to refer the file back to committee for institutional negotiations. Thank you.
Thank you. So we therefore vote on the referral back to committee. Who's in favour? Who's against? Who abstains? Adopted. In favour. The report is therefore referred back to the Committee for Interinstitutional Negotiations, Rule 59.4.
We've set targets for 2030, 2033 and so on. For dwellings, for instance, we want to get them to an E energy rating by 2030 and a D by 2033. So it's about renovating buildings, it's about lowering their greenhouse gas emissions, and it's about tackling energy poverty, because so many people couldn't afford their energy bills this winter. And if we insulate homes, we're well on our way to reducing bills and going in the right direction with our climate targets. I think an E energy rating by 2030 isn't overly ambitious. I mean, after all, this is the decade when we really want to tackle climate change, and this sets us on the road towards doing that. But we also have derogations. So if member states choose, they can exempt up to 22% of the worst performing buildings from the impacts of the directive. And of course, heritage buildings are out of scope anyway, so they're not covered. So I think this gives the flexibility that is needed for many member states who feel challenged by what we're trying to achieve. To get this deal done and get this...
За които обърнахме особено внимание, проблем.
The minimum energy performance standards